Hey, what is going on, everyone? This is Greg, co-host of the Grilling to Get Away podcast. This week's episode, Ben and I really talk all about burgers. We talk about how we set up our grills, the difference between smoking and grilling your burgers. And then also we talk about what type of meat we like to use when we're forming our patties. And then also maybe some of the tools or tips that we've used to help create some really good burgers in the past. And then also what our favorite toppings are, what we like to put on them. And then we also give you a little bit of insight to one of our famous burgers, the Monster Burger that we created about a year ago. So we hope you enjoy the episode all about burgers. Again, if you do enjoy it, please like, subscribe, share wherever you listen to this podcast. Give us a rating too. We really appreciate you helping us find some other people too that might just want to learn and actually hear some stories and stuff about grilling and barbecuing. So yeah, we hope you enjoy this episode, and we'll talk to you soon. Cheers. Oftentimes, life is demanding, stressful, and just won't stop. When needing to take a break, we like to light up the charcoal and crack open a cold one. The Grilling to Get Away podcast is an ongoing conversation about all things barbecue and grilling, from our backyard to yours. So if you sometimes don't know what the heck you're doing, if you like to learn, and if you don't take yourself too seriously, you're in the right spot. Red button is on and we are live. Hey, welcome to the fifth episode of the Grilling to Get Away podcast. We're a month in. I'm Greg and I'm your co-host. I'm here with my buddy.
This is Ben.
And welcome. And what are we drinking today, Ben?
Champagne and beers.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Miller High Life Champagne and beers. You ready to crack this open?
I am, yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Ooh, and we got the tall boys today. The 24 ounces.
Yeah.
Ooh, a little fuzzy here. Ah,
Your
that's
mouth
good.
right on there.
Yep. That tastes real nice, Ben. What made you pick these up today?
So, based on our topic today, me going over burgers, our favorite burgers, and kind of what we do and stuff. And man, it's when I'm doing burgers, it's one of my favorite things to drink. It makes me think of middle of summer when we're sitting there grilling those big fat ones, the big burgers and stuff. And that's usually what we're drinking while we cook them. So
that's right.
Just figured it they paired well together.
Yeah, a little hometown.
Went with the conversation today.
Sure, good.
Yeah.
And just a reminder, we are not sponsored or affiliated with Miller High Life just yet. But if anybody knows anybody, send them our way.
Please let us know.
Yeah. So no, thanks. I appreciate you picking these bad boys up. And before we jump into the topic of the day, burgers, what did you cook this past week?
Man, yeah, it was a good weekend, Greg.
Okay.
I fired up the grill a few times. It was which is awesome. It's had to get away quite a bit.
Okay.
So
one of those weeks.
Just needed the outlet, man.
Yeah.
Started off Friday night with did a frozen pizza. It was awesome. Had some beers while I did that, which was always a good time. Then on Sunday did some.
You did the
wings.
frozen pizza on the grill.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It was awesome.
Good.
Yeah.
Do you have a preferred frozen pizza that you like to grill?
No, we just went with Red Baron. Usually, what's on sale, Greg?
Yeah,
that's my favorite.
Yeah.
No, went with some Red Baron this time around. Always kind of doctored up a little bit. Made sure and put some of the new green sauce on there, Point Blank.
Yeah, the jalapeno hot sauce. Yeah,
paired well with it. I actually used that a couple of times this weekend. So, so grilled that. And then, like I said, went into Sunday and did wings. Just had a feel for wings and a real hankering. And just used both of our hot sauces on that one. Okay. So I did just like a 3-pound bag of wings. Smoked them for a good, probably a little over an hour. Like checked them about 35 minutes in, flipped them, added a little bit of wood to it, and kept going. Just like I said, put them over the coals for about like 5 minutes ish, crisping them up, and then took them off, put them in 2 separate tins, and that's where I just dumped the hot sauce on both. So I did,
and 1 to 10, what would you rate this cook?
Spicy wise, or no,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
a good cook, man.
Flavor.
Wings, love wings. Yeah, I used ground pounder and all ration on there.
So some garlic, some all-purpose
Yep.
barbecue seasoning.
Yeah, and then like I said, just doused them in
the hot sauce. Yeah.
Did use both of them. So hot brass and point blank.
Yeah.
And oh man, that hot brass really is hot.
Okay. Yeah.
It kicked it up a notch on the grill with the smoke flavor and stuff. Really, really had a good heat to it and stuff. So, but yeah, it was definitely had a good kick. And then the point blank was smooth, just not it was about a temperature notch down.
Nice.
So manageable. But yeah, it was awesome. And I had taken some chicken out too, so I after I was done with that, I threw all the chicken in the tin and just let that ride.
Okay.
And
no hot sauce on this one.
No hot sauce. No, just kind of seasoned with our all ration and ground pounder. Let that go for like an hour and a half.
Just real nice and
low
and slow.
Yeah. And I was gonna do stuffed shells for Monday night for dinner, and it's a funny story. My wife, we had talked about it, kind of planned it out, like getting ready for the week and stuff.
Yeah.
I said, we'll make them Monday night and stuff, and she was okay. Yeah, that's good. And she was, well, are you gonna smoke them? Oh man.
Well, you don't have to ask me twice. Yeah.
And I asked her, I was like, that's funny you say. I wasn't gonna. Because she always tells me, well, not everything needs to go on the grill.
Whoa.
But then Greg, she says something like that to me and just totally redeems herself. So yeah, it was her idea, and it went well. I was like, yeah. So yeah, it was awesome. It was a good weekend.
No, it sounds like you got away quite a bit.
Oh, it was awesome.
That's good.
What about you? What did you throw on?
Yeah, so I did a few cooks. I was feeling the chicken breast too, so I actually pulled out the cast iron for that one, and I did it on the stove for that. A couple big chicken breasts and grilled them up real nice. I have one of those cast irons that has the ridges at the bottom, so it looks like
looks like the grill marks.
Like the grates.
Yeah.
And it I like cast iron because you can still crisp it up nice and real nice. So I did that one day, and then I did an 8-pound pork butt on Saturday, and that one was a low and slow all day. 225 for 8 hours.
Long time away.
one. Yeah. It was nice. I didn't, I wasn't in a rush, so I had time, and I was checking in. I love my Weber. It keeps temp real nice.
Oh, is that what you did it on?
Yeah, I did it on the because the 8-pound wasn't too big, and I was able to stick it on the 22-inch Weber, and it kept temp real nice for me. So I check up on it like once an hour. And then after 4 hours, I wrapped it with some butcher paper.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, let it ride for another 4 hours till I got to about 203 internal temp, and then I let it sit for about 20 minutes. Pulled it off and shredded it up, and we had some pulled pork sandwiches. Sauced them up a little bit, and real good flavor. I enjoyed it. The family enjoyed it.
Nice.
It was definitely a good cook, and with that one, everything kind of went right. It was like one of those real kind of, I was in the zone and the temp was keeping up real well. I wasn't in a rush or hurry to get it done, and we were done for dinner time, so it was good.
Nice. And do you prefer to use the butcher paper?
Well, I go back and forth. I get real good bark. I keep the bark real nice when I do butcher paper. I do feel like I lose some of the moisture. So if I were to do like aluminum foil, I think it keeps moisture a little bit more. And I tend to get a little bit more juicier, cooks from that. But the flavor is real good because I think the butcher paper allows some of that smoke to, come through a little bit more. But I usually have juicier, pork butts when I wrap them with aluminum. So this one wasn't the juiciest one I've ever had, but it was still pretty good. The flavor came through. I used some cherry wood, and I spritzed it with some. I made a new mixture of It was kind of equal parts water and then old fashioned mix.
Ooh.
Yeah, so a little bit of cherry flavor to it. So I like that.
Sweet, huh?
Yeah, a little bit of sweetness,
Yeah.
which helped get a nice bark and color to it.
Do you use a water pan underneath?
I do.
Okay.
This one I did, and I poured some of the Doc soda, the cherry Renegade soda in there. Again, like I was going for the cherry flavor.
Yeah.
So, you could pick up hints of that from the the soda underneath there. A little bit of water too to keep it not from burning or anything like that. But yeah, it was good.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, no, it was an awesome weekend for getting out there, and it sounds like you had a couple cooks. I had a couple cooks. Yeah. But what we wanted to talk to you about today is burgers, right? When you think about grilling, when you think about charcoal, a lot of people go towards grilling up a nice burger. So, Ben, when you grill your burgers, how do you set your grill up? Do you use your Weber, right?
Oh yeah. I have done it on the smoker, and I'll be honest, I do. I don't do that a lot. Just I'm not always just gonna kind of fire up the smoker just to do some burgers. It's obviously kind of a different type of cook, right?
Yeah.
But I've done it a couple of times, and man, it's just like another level. My wife loves it.
When you smoke it?
Yeah. Yep. It's turned out well. That was honestly, it was one of the first things I cooked, I think, on the smoker.
Okay.
So just to try it out and stuff.
Yeah.
See how it was. But yeah, it's awesome. I highly recommend it if you have the time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, I like to use the Weber.
Sure.
I'm a big fan of the indirect, but like for burgers, yeah, I'll put them right over the top.
Yeah.
It depends again how much time you got. If I wanna smoke them for a bit and stuff, I will, and then kind of toss them over for another minute or two.
Yeah.
But typically at that point, doing burgers to do burgers,
right?
Just kind of
quick and easy.
Yep.
Fast.
Something to still kind of get me out in the cook though.
Yeah.
Get me on the grill a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah. What about you? What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, most of the time it's hot and fast. I don't smoke burgers too much. I will though, like when I do, I might put a wood chip or two in there, maybe to get a little bit of that smoky flavor. But yeah, I set my grill up, my Weber, with just kind of your traditional, 3-zone fire. So most of the coals are pushed to one side, and then it gradually goes down to the other side where the other side doesn't have any coals. So, one side, is really hot, 500 plus degrees. And then, the other side's the cool side, So if you have any flare-ups or anything when you're doing the burgers, you can move them over to that cool side.
Yeah.
I mean, I love using the Weber. It's super simple, super easy. And I can, still control the temp pretty well with that too. So when you're doing burgers, what type of like beef or meat do you use? Do you pack your own?
I use the stuff from the cow that we got, Greg.
Okay, so the
nice and lean, yeah.
The nice lean stuff. So all natural, organic, grass-fed beef that we had a cow butchered, so we still use a lot of that.
Yep.
So there's a lot of different camps there. You have people that when we go tailgating, we see people pull out the
80-20. Yeah. Oh yeah.
The 80-20. The chuck. Sometimes if they're high end, the sirloin.
Yep.
But then we also see the people that pull out like the hockey pucks,
oh, man.
The frozen.
Yep.
Do you dabble in the frozen, hamburgers too?
I have, yeah.
Okay.
I have. I've got nothing bad to say about it.
Yeah.
Do
you still season them, or how do you?
Oh yeah. I'd still season them, definitely. But that's just my preference and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny because I season them, but I know the kids are just gonna lather them up with ketchup anyway.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's kind of like, well, what's the point? But
yeah.
I still do it. But no, it's definitely been a little bit since I've done the frozen side of things.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter if they're I've like you mentioned, called those hockey pucks. I mean, I've turned them into hockey pucks.
Sure.
I've turned like my own homemade burgers into hockey pucks. Like, yeah, so it happens.
Yeah, no. But I think for just the conversation today, thinking about like packing your own. So, you got your ground beef, and it's defrosted. How are you seasoning your hamburgers?
Yeah, so I've kind of changed things up a little bit recently. Where I used to go very kind of traditional, salt, pepper, garlic.
Yeah.
But now, yeah, I've kind of switched it to where I'll do some pepper. I used to do a lot of like Worcestershire sauce.
Okay.
Worcestershire.
The W sauce.
Yeah.
We call it the W sauce.
But I didn't feel like I was getting as much flavor out of it as I wanted. I switched to kind of some soy sauce.
Nice.
So yeah, I laid off the salt, but used
There's
soy
a little
sauce.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of
You
sodium.
know, I mean, honestly, like I use soy sauce in a lot of my
Yeah.
my cooks.
Yeah.
It's like one of those ingredients that you never thought of before until
Yeah,
you started
never.
using it, and it
Yeah.
just kicks up the flavor a little differently.
It sure does. Yeah, it definitely adds kind of a different perspective to it,
Yeah.
which I never even really thought of it. And I think one day I was out of Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, what
What
do
do
I
I
use?
got?
So it's like that, being prepared like we talked about. But yeah, I'm glad it happened. I'm glad it worked. And I was like, well, we'll try this,
Yeah.
right? What can go wrong? So yeah, I like to do that. You kind of have to pay attention. It's easy to overdo it with
Sure.
that. But then I use, again, I'll do a little pepper and then all ration or all-purpose seasoning and
Sure.
then ground pounder to the garlic.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's kind of like a generic, Otherwise, too, if I want to turn it up, I'll use some fire in the hole.
Okay.
And
A little
add some-
spicier.
Yeah, it'll kick to it a bit. But that's if I'm doing traditional burgers, like
Yeah.
just on like a Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm gonna go with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty similar. I try and keep it simple with the burgers. Salt, pepper, maybe a little bit of garlic. If I'm feeling like I want some additional flavor in there, yeah, maybe I'll put a barbecue rub on there or something like that. But yeah, I like to keep them, kind of simple. And then, once they're grilled up and cooked, then you can start putting the toppings on and stuff like that. So when you form them up, do you have like a press or do you like just do it by hand?
I just use the bear paws, man.
Okay, yeah.
Get right in there. I try not to work it too much.
Yeah.
Because keep it just easy.
Now, do you like? There's some people out there that like to run their hands under cold water so they don't heat up the meat while they're forming the patties and stuff like that. Do you do that?
I've never done that before.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I just kind of, right after I wash them, just dive into it quick. Just try and form. Not play with it too much. But just get the shape I want and call it a day. What about you? I mean, do you do that? Do you soak your hands in ice water? Like what's?
Well, I have, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have before.
Did you notice a difference?
Yeah, I think so. It's
Okay.
easier. The heat from your hands, doesn't make it. They don't stick as much.
Sticky,
Yeah. So similar. I don't like to handle my burgers too much while I'm forming them. So quick and easy. Roll them together.
Yep.
I do have a press too. I got that as a gift, which it's real nice because it keeps them uniform.
Yeah, same size.
You pack it into the press, you push it down a little bit, and then you pop it out, and it makes some real nice sized burgers. And you do sliders too. It has a setting where you can pack sliders. So I've used that too. But yeah, usually though, I'll pack it by hand.
It doesn't stick in there?
No, it's like a plastic one. So
Okay.
you can pop it out. You push out the bottom and it comes out, and it's, they keep pretty uniform. But most of the times I'm doing it by hand. Pat them together a few times, make sure they're together, put them on the tray, and then pop them back in the fridge while I'm getting the grill ready.
Yeah. So do you you mentioned seasoning and stuff like that too. Do you season them after you pack them together, or do you do it all in kind of a one big pan?
Yeah.
Put all the seasonings in there, maybe and then mix it a bit and then pack it.
I do both.
Okay.
I'll put a little bit in when I'm packing them together, so I mix them together so it gets inside, and then once I'm getting ready to kind of put them on the grill, I'll flavor them a little bit more. So I'll put some more salt, pepper, and maybe some garlic or something on top of it. Yeah.
Cheeseburgers? You do a lot of cheeseburgers?
Yeah. I mean, I love cheese. I love cheese in my burgers. Yeah. Usually, like American cheddar, something like that.
Pepper jack? Turn it up a bit?
No, I'm not on my burgers. I'm not a big pepper jack fan, but
fair.
I do like a good Swiss. We are in Wisconsin, so I like a good Swiss cheese on my burger sometimes. Maybe put some mushrooms and some onions sautéed on top of that too.
Ooh,
yeah,
look at you.
When I'm feeling like I want to do that extra work and stuff.
When you have that time, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So before you put your burgers on the grill, do you do anything to make sure they don't stick?
Yeah. Actually, my wife got me this year for Christmas a little spray bottle.
Okay.
That's has like a pump on it and stuff,
Yeah.
which is awesome. So just little
Olive oil.
in there.
Yeah.
Yep, and just kind of spray it down. Obviously, make sure clean the grates off well enough so not leave anything behind and sticky and all that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
What about you? What do you do?
Yeah, similar, but I don't have a spray bottle. I'm not that fancy.
Not yet. You got the press, but not the bottle.
Yeah, and I know. I use just a paper towel. I fold it up a few times, and then I use my tongs, and I put some olive oil on it, and I just use that to clean up the grates. Does the trick, and then I just throw the paper in over the coals, lights it on fire, and then it's gone.
Doesn't burn up any of your burgers and stuff?
Well, no, I mean before I put the burgers on.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how I just little oil on the napkin or the the paper towel, clean the grates a little bit with it, and then ready to put the burgers on.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I'll put them right over the top of the heat.
Yeah.
Pro tip is like after about a minute, like I'll rotate it 90 degrees so you get those nice crosshatch grill marks on there. Look like a professional.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. What do you usually try and get the temp up to on the grill?
I'm looking for hot and fast, so
Yep.
anywhere between 400 and 500, I guess.
Sure. Okay.
Like I said, if I'm not in a hurry, like maybe I'll put them on the other side so they can smoke a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll throw a chip in there. So, put them on the cold side of the grill, let it smoke up a little bit. And then when I'm ready to eat or when dinner's, going to be served, move them over, put them over the coals for a few minutes each side, get it up to about 160 degrees internal temp, and then, put some cheese on a little bit to melt.
Toast the buns?
Toast the buns. Gotta toast the buns. If you've never toasted your buns, it's a game changer.
Okay.
It takes your burger to the next level.
Just don't over toast them.
Don't over toast. You gotta watch them.
Gotta pay attention.
Yeah. So generally, I'll take the burgers off. I'll let them cool down inside a little bit.
Rest a bit.
Yeah, and then I'll put the buns on, so I'm watching it right over the coals, and it only takes maybe a minute, to toast them up a little bit.
Just leave the lid off.
Oh yeah, just watching them. Do you butter your buns?
I don't butter them.
No, me either.
No, just pop them on there.
Yeah, I know some people will butter them a little bit and then put them on, but I feel like when you have the burgers on there, I mean, you get nice flavor anyways, a little bit of grease.
Juice,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you just pop them on right away and watch them, make sure they don't burn, and then you're all set to go.
Yeah. All right, so kind of two questions to what you just said, but what's your flip time? So if you're both, if you have them, like you said, kind of smoking a bit, not, kind of indirect heat, away from the coals, how long are you going to do that for? But then on the inverse side, if you have them right over, what are you flipping them at?
Yeah, so if I'm doing hot and fast and I'm not smoking them or anything like that, maybe 5 to 7 minutes aside.
Sure. Okay.
So again, you should be obviously if you have a thinner burger, you should watch it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But if you have a good thick burger, 5 to 7 minutes per side. Like I said, if you want to look like a professional, after about a minute, rotate it 90 degrees so you get those crosshatch grill marks on it, and you do that on both sides. But 5 to 7 minutes aside. You're looking for internal temp of about 160, 165. I mean, for my burgers, I like it medium. So that's going to give you a little bit more of a medium color inside. And then, like, if I'm smoking it, again, it depends on how much time I have. I'll let it ride. I'll let it ride if I have time. But then, like I said, once we're ready to eat and it's time to maybe get them off, I'll put them right over the coals for a couple minutes to char them up a little bit. Flip it, 2 minutes per side, because usually by that time, internal temp's already good. And I'm just looking to get a little bit more crispiness to it.
Sure. Do you push down on the burgers at all, Greg?
I do not push down on the burgers. I don't. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think. You lose some of the juiciness and some of the grease and stuff when you push it out. So it might dry out a little bit.
It can cause a bit of a fire
and a flame up too.
Just be careful.
Especially if you're over the coals.
Right over.
Yeah. What about you? When you're smoking them, how do you typically go about that process?
Yeah, so again, that's like we talked about, just it's a bit longer, right? So, try and get the temp up. The smoker's a bit different, so with that, I'm trying to get up above 300, probably between 300 and 350, and
So a little bit higher than like your traditional type of like smoking.
Yeah,
225,
yeah,
250.
definitely. With the burgers and stuff, I'm going a little bit higher on that if I can. Again, if I'm doing it on the smoker, I want to make sure I have the time. So if it doesn't reach that, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'll run with it, and just it'll take a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So, but it's just different. Like I'm not gonna toast the buns on there.
Okay.
Because I'm not directly over.
Yeah, it'll take a little bit of a while.
So, no, don't want to do that. But yeah, just a different process. Like I said, just still have the water pan in there. Just to kind of try and keep them as moist as I can. But same thing. No, I'm not gonna push on them or anything like that. Just kind of let them ride.
Yeah.
And wait until they hit that internal temp and pull them off.
Good. So what are your go-to like toppings like when you're like if you can make your ultimate burger, what's the topping on Ben's burger?
Man, I go back to Columbus Day.
Okay.
What was that? Not this past Columbus Day, a year ago.
Okay.
Remember those burgers?
Yes, I do.
Those were the glorious burgers. I don't know, man. I still say I put those at the top. I don't know if we've ever made better burgers than that, but it was a good day. We
those
had
are half pound burgers.
Half pound burgers.
Yeah.
And we did. That was just seasonal traditional seasoning. Like we just talked about and stuff. Cooked right over the coals and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And man, those things were so thick. God, those things were so thick with the cheese too. Like what was that? The whipped cheese?
Cheese whips. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the bacon.
Yeah, bacon on top of it.
Grilled bacon too, the smoked. Yeah, so that was.
So there's a backstory to that a little bit. During this time, I was in a phase, not a phase, but
call it what you will.
We were exploring with the plant-based diet, and I just had, now it's time for some meat. So I was like, hey, Ben, I'm coming over. I'm bringing a couple pounds of ground beef, and we're going to make some burgers.
Yeah.
So we cut the pound in half, and we made 2 burgers, a half pound each, and then we just topped them with cheese whips and bacon, and I could barely take a bite out of that thing.
No, but you finished the whole thing like a
I sure
did.
Too.
Yeah,
sick as a dog.
Yeah, had enough meat for the week right there.
Had the meat sweats going on.
Oh God, yeah, you were dripping. It was that was the classic one. It's one of those I'll never forget.
Nice.
Yeah, man, that was a good cook. But no, I if I'm just gonna do something, I can be as simple as just putting mustard on top, and I'm good to go. Otherwise, I'll do tomatoes, I'll do pickles, I'll do lettuce, little ketchup, little mustard, some barbecue sauce at times.
Sometimes, I've explored a little bit with a little bit of mayo, a little bit of mayo, ketchup.
Special sauce?
No, I'm not that special.
Oh, it's from Step Brothers.
Yeah, that one blew over my head.
That's all right.
A little bit of mayo, a little bit of ketchup, and then like onions, and it's always nice to have some bacon on top with some cheese and stuff. So, any like tips or tricks or like any variations that sometimes you do with like the meat, or like do you add anything sometimes? Or
sometimes we'll kind of dabble with the stuffed burgers. I think you and I have done that a few times.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried a few different things before. I've put little cubes of cheese just in my burgers and stuff. Onions too. I've tried to like the ice cube trick. To keep it like flat,
to keep
and
it
stuff.
flat so it doesn't kind of puff up. And then some of it like sometimes
you use
they
like
say
the spoon.
you press it in a little bit so it stays flat so it doesn't puff up.
It was all right. I mean, can say I tried it, right?
Sure,
that was one of those. Like, oh yeah, cool. Look at me. Yeah. So.
Look at me. We have a flat burger.
But
no, you're better than that son, Ben.
No, not at all. Like I said, I did it once. I can say I did it. How about that? So,
sure.
No, man, I love doing like the stuffed burgers like that. I think too, adding like kind of some cubes of cheese in there and stuff. But I'll be honest, man, even when I do that, I'm still putting cheese on top of it.
Yeah.
Onions in there are good. My wife loves that.
Okay.
But no, that's kind of my go-to if I'm gonna, I guess, get fancy.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, same. Like I've tried like the herb butter. So like if you like just take a regular butter stick, you add some, herbs to it. You freeze it. You cut off like a quarter size piece. You stuff it inside so it keeps it moist a little bit more. You get a little butter.
Yeah, how is that?
It's good. It keeps it juicier.
Yeah.
But again, that's not something I'm gonna do all the time. Every now and again when I feel like I want to try something different, maybe I'll try something like that. Like maybe put some onions in there, try some different types of herbs or spices. But for the most part, we'll keep it pretty simple. Well, good. What do you got? So I think that's pretty much covers burgers and stuff.
Burgers at its best.
Yeah. What kind of cooks you got coming up this week?
I'm thinking about brats. I don't know why. I just kind of had a hankering.
Yeah.
Yeah, thinking about some brats. I've got some in the freezer and stuff. Otherwise, it could be a week to cook up a burger too. I mean, it's kind of wide open.
Sure.
I got so excited. I mean, I kind of blacked out after doing the shells, the stuffed shells. So I didn't really think much past that. So
yeah.
But yeah, maybe some brats, maybe a burger. Yeah, I don't know. Haven't that's kind of
so many
plan.
options.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah. What about you? What do you got on the menu?
Yeah, so I went to visit our friend Justin up at the Grandpa's Meat Market up in Medford, Wisconsin.
Nice. You got some goods up there.
I did, I did, and I had to look around the shop a little bit. So, I got some big old beef ribs, big old
those are thick. Yeah.
So I'm thinking about that. But
how many pounds did you get?
Those were probably about 5 pounds.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it was a big rack.
Yeah.
And then I picked up some cranberry. I can't think off the top of my head. They're cranberry pork sausages, kind of like brats. Yeah. So I might do those. I might keep it simple and do those, and save the big old beef ribs for another time. But that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Nice. Well, good luck.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Same to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to wrap this one up. I think part of our goal with this podcast is to keep it short and simple, and we'll try and keep it under 30 minutes when we can. And we really appreciate you all listening. Like always, if you found this valuable, if you liked it, if you enjoyed it, please, share it with your friends. Please give us a review and a rating to help us, keep going. But any last words, Ben?
Yeah, I'd say too, if you have any awesome burger recipes, please feel free to share them with us. We'll definitely try them out. Share them with us, and we'll give them a go.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, again, we appreciate you all listening, and hopefully you find some value from this. But until next time.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Thanks. Cheers.
Bye.